Addison caught me in an elevator one time. It was just like, hey, it's the homie Twitch, right? I was like, hey, what up? Not knowing that this is like, yo, this is Addison Rae that I'm talking to, man. It's crazy just what the Times has done.
But you were so nice to me about it and like didn't even feel bothered, which is like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing Addison Rae's most disrespectful moments. Stick around to number 1 and see for yourself how many times she's been associated with something humiliating. Number 12, when she disrespected Asians. Guess the Age Challenge is a very popular game played by many YouTubers and others. Here they try to guess how old someone is just by looking at their pictures. Nick Bean, famous TikToker, is also no exception to playing the game, but one time he was playing this with Addison Rae and Bryce Hall, and things really went downhill. When they weren't being able to guess the age of an Asian woman, Nick stated that she might be 15 or 35, no in between, because that's just the way Asians are. This in itself was pretty disrespectful, but what Addison said after this only added fuel to the fire. She doubted that the female might not just be an Asian, but be a Korean. She doesn't even seem to know basic geography well. If she has an Asian fans, this is very insulting for them. Number 11, when she lied about being in a relationship with Bryce. Addison and Bryce were constantly asked by their fans whether they were dating or not for a long time, and however much their claim was well supported with instances where the two of them were seen to be extremely close to each other, none of them even acknowledged it. They had constantly putting down all inquiries where they were asked to confirm their relationship. However, fans were left shocked when there was finally an announcement from their part on the relationship as they revealed they had broken up. This only proved that they had been blatantly lying to so many of their fans for so long by constantly denying that they were together for months, whereas in reality, they were full-on dating. That was very disrespectful to all the fans worldwide who've always supported her through thick and thin. Number 10, when she insulted James Charles. Addison didn't just stop with her snobby attitude there. Instead of being thankful towards James for giving her a chance to collaborate with him, she even insulted him in the same video. Everybody knows that plucking eyebrows hurt, but Addison simply snapped at James when he was doing hers and went as far as telling him, "Stop, why are you doing it like that?" as if he was her personal makeup artist that she'd hired. We don't know whether Addison's techniques of plucking eyebrows are better or not, but whatever the case might be, nothing gave her the right to treat a celebrity bigger than her in both fields of fame and duration as her inferior and insult him like that. Number 9, when she disrespected James Charles. James Charles is obviously a bigger star than Addison and has been in the spotlight for way longer than Addison even began posting her stuff online, but that didn't stop her from pointing out that too rudely a mistake in the fact that James said about her. The two had collaborated in a video where James would do her makeup and give out the tutorial, which was obviously a generous move on his part because it would clearly mean that Addison will be getting a lot of attention. However, when James casually mentioned that she was comparatively new in the field and had posted only a single makeup video, Addison quickly corrected him and said that in fact it was two in rather condescending tone. James was easily taken aback, but he still continued with it.
YouTube video for you guys because everyone's been asking for me to glam up Addison. She just posted her very first makeup tutorial.
No, actually it's my second.
Okay, well, regardless, it was questionable. So now.
Number 8, when she told James Charles he had haters on his face. In a mukbang video that James did with Addison, when the topic came up whether they ever searched their own names online, James seemed very uncomfortable with the topic as he has many haters who don't exactly showcase a minimum sense of respect and attack him with nasty and rude comments. Addison, instead of confronting and supporting him, just acknowledged the fact to rub it in his face more. She even said that her own fans were very supportive and nice of her. Well, this way of handling things with a fellow star is pretty obnoxious and disrespectful. Number 7, when she didn't even let James finish his lines. It's not hard to guess that the flaws in the same video didn't stop there. In fact, it consisted throughout the entire time because Addison just couldn't seem to come out of her self-centered bubble and stop talking about her own self. Sure, James asked her a couple of questions, but she used up almost the full time in the video in answering those. She didn't even let James finish the steps of the makeup routine that he was giving out for his viewers, which was actually the purpose of the video. She kept on diving back to whether she was speaking about herself, and at the end, when the makeup on her face was completed, it still seemed like she had more to talk about. James later posted an apology for his fans because he could not completely give out all the steps to the tutorial properly, whereas in reality, it wasn't actually his fault, but Addison didn't even seem to acknowledge that.
What was we at that time?
I'm gonna say probably like 300K.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I would assumed it would have been like a few million at this point.
No.
So when did you ultimately make the decision to drop out then?
We used the word resign.
When did you decide to resign?
Number 6, disrespecting her dad. Addison seems to have started publicly putting her dad down, be it over something he posted in Twitter or something very domestic which the world is not supposed to know, especially through his daughter pointing those out. There has been more than one instance where she made fun of her dad. Take this for example, she pointed it out rather rudely that he had spelled Chipotle. Yeah, she did make a mistake. Doesn't that mean you have to make fun of him? She even further revealed how he had spelled pomegranate as pomegranate a couple of days back at home. Like, why did you even have to discuss that online? It's clearly a very domestic thing. Not very respectful, Addison. Number 5, when she said that, "I am gonna throw up." This sentence does not sound that rude, but the context in which it was said wasn't very easy. Addison said this in a video in a completely frivolous mood after claiming that she had filled herself to full capacity of her stomach with junk food from McDonald's. Now, that isn't offensive itself and would probably be okay if it was a common video on the internet posted by someone not famous, but the fact that Addison Rae has millions of fans from all over the world and there are people who can't afford to eat more than one meal per day makes the entire thing very distasteful and insensitive. She can spoil herself all she wants, but she shouldn't actually joke around with something which is a burning issue that many people struggle with. Number 4, her stolen dance with Jack Wright. Fellow TikTok star Jack Wright, along with Addison Rae, was seen doing a dance routine on the song Walked In that got pretty famous. Jack even wrote to his followers in the caption to go do the dance that Addison was doing, whereas in reality, the dance was originally choreographed by another content creator on the same platform. Hunter La Sister even commented on the video that they really stole my dance, huh? Although he might have said it without antagonizing them. He actually had received a lot of hate on his original video that he had posted. In TikTok, it's hard enough to figure out what content is original as it is, and then if someone actually tries to gain popularity by deliberately copying someone else, it really becomes difficult. Although Rae and Wright later acknowledged Lasseter's contribution to their dance routine, the damage had already been done. Number 3, when she walked out on her mum. Addison had said all sorts of sweet and caring stuff about her mother online. She had posted cute pictures of the two of them and has always convinced the viewer of how strong and loving the relationship between the two of them is. However, this seems to only happen virtually, as there is an instance where she's seen to walk out on her mum in the kitchen. In the video, she is apparently chopping onions as the camera records. It looks like a busy day in the kitchen. Her mother and little brother are also seen working. However, Addison soon gives up on the job and instead speaks to the camera about how she can't stop crying because of, well, the onions. It pretty much seems like an exaggeration because her brother clearly says that the onions aren't getting to him. Well, if that's the case, then it's evidence that she's only using the occasion as a ruse to gain clout online and she doesn't really care about helping her mother, which is, to be honest, pretty disrespectful. Number 2, body shaming. Addison Rae has always been loud about how she's a sufferer of body shaming, and it's a fact that she received a lot of rude comments online that attacked her as a person. No one should suffer from that, especially someone who actually makes real content. Number 1, a meme video. As much as attention Addison has had on, however, for being controversial, she herself has also received much embarrassment and disrespect. One instance was when a video of her twerking was used by the New York Jets in a meme format that showed as if a ball was coming out of her behind. Pretty disrespectful to a girl and her work, and it doesn't spread a very good message. While you are here, click on one of these 2 vids on your screen. See you there.